If you not already knew, lately there's a big news about how the developer or publisher of the famous gacha games such as Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and many more, Hoyoverse, or also known as Cognosphere, got fined for 20 million US dollars after alleged for some shady business. So what's going on here? We know Genshin Impact is a gacha game that sometimes can be frustrating for some people when they wanted to get a new character. While we can actually grind for some free primogems, in-game top-up could also be the alternative. But this is where the problem started. The director of FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection, Samuel Levine, said Genshin Impact deceived children, teens, and other players into spending hundreds of dollars on prizes they stood little chance of winning. This complaint is filed to Genshin due to how Hoyoverse marketed in-game purchases and said deceive player about the odds of winning particular sought-after loot box prizes. This became a problem because they think Hoyoverse didn't make it as clear as possible of how much money it would cost to actually win the main prize, which is the limited 5-star character or weapon, and how they force player to use a virtual currency system that might confuse younger audience. And what they actually mean by this is how player must exchange real dollars for Genesis Crystal, then it have to be re-exchanged into primogems to be finally used for the gacha. While it already sounds bad enough, it's not stopping there. Based off of the FTC's official website, the Federal Trade Commission said the filed complaints by the Department of Justice alleged Cognosphere or Hoyoverse also violated the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule by collecting their personal information without obtaining parental consent. Hoyoverse alleged that they continue to collect personal information from children under 13 and shared the data with third-party analysis, as well as device-related persistent identifiers to track players' progress, purchases, settings, and friends lists. And because of this complaint, Cognosphere or Hoyoverse got slapped on the wrist for 20 million monetary penalty. And also they're forced to make some changes to their system, which includes children under 16 will need their parents' approval for any in-game purchases, prohibited from selling loot boxes using virtual currency without providing an option to purchase them directly with real money, prohibited from misrepresenting loot box odds, prices, and features, requires to disclose loot box odds and exchange rates for multi-tiered virtual currency. And lastly, they're required to delete any personal information that they previously collected from children under 13 unless they obtain parental consent. And not long after this news surfaced, it said that Hoyoverse has agreed to pay the 20 million fine and also agreed with the terms listed above. Although Cognosphere has accepted those terms, they also came to the public with an official statement which basically said, while they believe many allegations are inaccurate, they agreed to this because they value players' trust and will bring a better system in the future. While this might be good for the game's future, but the fact that there's some other games that have even worse system still doing perfectly fine is kinda put a question mark in my head personally. But anyway, what do you think of this? Is this the game's fault or is this just a parental problem like some people said? Let us know in the comment section. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.